Together tales, stories and songs to cheer us along. Together tales, stories and songs to cheer us along. Hey!
Episode 9, What a Wonderful Life.
Hi friends, I'm Jen.
And I'm Nat.
And together we're the
Whitman Tellers.
And we're here with another episode of
Together tales
Stories and Songs
to cheer us along. Sometimes when we're in one place for a long time, little problems can feel bigger than they really are.
And sometimes we need help putting them into perspective, seeing the big picture.
This reminds us of a story that we love to tell.
It's called A Wonderful Life. And it's retold from the Jewish folk tradition by Margaret Read MacDonald in this book, Shake It Up Tales. These are stories to drum and dance and act out.
There was a man who lived in a nice house. Every day he would sit on his front porch, and his wife would be there with him. As she rocked, her little rocking chair made a sweet little noise like that. And the more the man tried to ignore it, the harder it was to ignore. And the louder it seemed to get. And the louder it seemed to get, the more he thought to himself, what a terrible life! The wife also liked to knit. She would knit, and those little knitting needles make a clicking sound. The more the man tried to ignore the needles, the louder they seemed to get. And the louder they seemed to get, the more the man wanted to go crazy. What a terrible life! And do you know what that wife also liked to do? She liked to hum. And at first that humming was sweet and soft and gentle. But the more the man tried to ignore it, the louder it seemed to get. And the louder it seemed to get, the more the man wanted to go crazy. What a terrible life! He ran down the street to find the wise woman. Wise woman, you have to help me.
What seems to be the problem?
I have a terrible life. I have a wife who sits in a rocking chair, and the rocking chair creaks.
Okay.
And my wife knits. And when she knits, her knitting needles click together.
They click together?
And that's not all. When she knits and rocks in her chair, she hums.
So you have a terrible life.
Yes, it's a terrible life.
All right. Well, then I think I can help you.
Yeah?
Yeah. Go get a few dogs, bring them into your house.
Oh, okay.
Just wait for things to get better.
So the man took the wise woman's advice. He went out to an animal shelter and he got 4 dogs. He brought those dogs home and he put them in his house and he waited for his life to get better. But
now there was that rocking chair that was creaking. Can you creak along with us? There were the knitting needles that clicked together. Can you click along with us?
click, 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 click.
And there was the wife who was humming. Can you hum along with us? And now there were also dogs, and they were barking as loud as they could. Can you bark with us?
What a terrible life, said the poor man. He went screaming down the street to find the wise woman. Wise woman, you have to help me. I have a terrible life.
Oh, I've heard that. It's not getting any better, huh?
Listen to this. My wife has a rocking chair that creaks. She has knitting needles that click together.
All right, those knitting
She
needles.
hums while she does that.
That's
and
amazing.
4 dogs. They make a mess. They bark. It's a terrible life.
Yeah, I'm sure that's really terrible. So here's what you need to do. I need you to go get some sheep. Get a whole bunch of sheep. Bring them into your house. See what happens.
A whole bunch of sheep.
Yeah, some sheep.
Okay. The man ran out and got a whole bunch of sheep. He brought them home and put them in his house and waited for his life to get better.
But now, of course, there was the rocking chair that was squeaking. Can you try it? The knitting needles clicked together. The wife who hummed. The dogs have barked. Ready?
And there were the sheep that were baaing. Bah, bah, bah. The man looked around his house and he said, What a terrible life! He went down the road to find the wise woman. Wise woman, you have to help me.
Well, now what's the problem?
I have a terrible life. I have, get this, a rocking chair that squeaks, knitting needles that click together, a wife who hums, 4 dogs that bark and make a mess around the house, and sheep, smelly sheep everywhere. They're on my couch or in my bed. They're all over the place.
Yeah, okay, so what you need to do is you need to go and get some cows, a bunch of cows, as many cows as you can, bring them into the house, and then wait for your life to get better.
Wise woman, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Oh, I know what I'm doing, trust me.
Okay, I trust you. And so the man went and he got a bunch of cows. He brought them back to his house and he waited for his life to get better.
But now, of course, let's see how fast we can do it. There was the rocking chair that squeaked. The knitting needles that clicked.
Click, 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 click,
The wife
click.
who hummed. The dogs that barked. The sheep that baa.
Bah, bah.
And now, of course, there were all of these cows that were mooing.
Moo, moo, moo. What a terrible life! He ran off to find the wise woman again. I have a terrible life.
Aye, it is pretty terrible, isn't it? Yeah.
You know already?
Well, tell me about it.
Listen, I have a rocking chair that squeaks. I have knitting needles that click together.
Yeah.
A wife that hums.
Oh, yeah.
Dogs, lots of dogs that bark. Sheep everywhere smelling so badly. And then I have cows. They're punching holes in the floor. They're eating all of my plants. They're eating my hair in my sleep. What am I going to do, wise woman?
Here's what you need to do. You need to take back the dogs, take back the sheep, take back the cows, and then wait and see what happens.
But,
You just wait. Wait for your life to get better.
okay. The man went back home to make his life better. He found other homes for the dogs. He put the sheep back in the fields. He put the cows back in the pastures. And then he sat in his front porch and he waited for his life to get better.
Now, the only noise he could hear was the quiet squeak of the rocking chair.
And the gentle sound of the knitting needles clicking together.
And the sweet sound of his wife's voice.
And he thought to himself, now I truly have a wonderful life. And we hope that as you experience time in your house, you'll realize that maybe you have some parts that are wonderful too.
That's right. Sometimes it's easy for us to think about the things that are going wrong and forget about all the things that are going right. So look for all the things today that make your life a wonderful life. And thanks for joining us on
Together Tales.
Stories and Songs
To cheer us along. Bye. Stay wonderful.
Together tales, stories and songs to cheer us along. Together tales, stories and songs to cheer us along. Hey!
Together Tales.
Stories and Songs to cheer
take
us.
off my glasses and the gentle, soft tones of her loving voice.